everyone, and welcome to this session on myth busting. So today we'll be discussing the widely told myths and misconceptions surrounding university and higher education. Our first myth: there is no point studying in higher education as you can earn just as much by working. So this is a myth because the wage difference between graduates and school leavers is about 35%. So you're more likely to earn more money if you go to university. The second myth: I'll have to pay back debt straight after graduating. So you're not expected to turn up on your first day of university with lots of money to pay for everything. You get a student loan to cover things like your tuition fees and living costs. So this isn't like a normal loan from the bank. It is especially for students to pay for university, and you don't have to pay it back in the same way as a normal loan. You only have to start paying it back once you leave university and start to earn a certain amount money, and the amount you pay back depends on how much you're earning. So if you earn a lot of money, you'll pay back a bigger chunk each month, and if you earn less money, you'll pay less. Our next myth: I won't be able to get a mortgage or buy a house because of my student debt. So this myth comes from the fact that the student loan does appear on your credit file. So when you do things like apply for a mortgage or buy a house or buy a car on credit, the people lending you the money do see that you have a student loan. However, they don't take this into account in the same way they do this with other types of loans for a number of reasons. So the first is that they'll know you'll never be paying back more than you earn. The second is that if no one with a student loan could get a mortgage, then half the people in the country wouldn't be able to get one. And the final reason relates back to our first myth. So we know that graduates are more likely to earn more money, so they're more likely to pay off their mortgage. So a little bit more about money. So you can take a loan out to help with living costs, and this is very dependent on your household income. You only start to pay your loan back when you leave university. You only pay back what you can afford. So what happens if you lose your job? You start paying until you find a new one. So the next myth: I have to live away from home. So this is definitely not the case. So a lot of students do choose to live in student accommodation or with friends, but it's absolutely not a requirement. In fact, a lot of Middlesex students choose to stay at home so they can save a lot of money. Our next myth: higher education is for people who are good at academic courses, not vocational ones. So before we get to the fact, what does vocational mean? So a vocational education is an education that prepares people to work in various jobs, such as trades or crafts or as a technician. So a vocational education is sometimes referred to as a career education or a technical education, as it's more practice-based. So as you can tell, this is a myth, and it's not true at all. There's lots of different types of courses out there to suit all types of learners. So at Middlesex University, we have courses in animation, nursing, and video game design. The next myth: higher education courses last 3 years. So how long do HE courses last? Well, most last 3 years, but there are some, like architecture, that are longer, and there are some that are shorter. For instance, if you wanted to do a higher national diploma, it would only take you 2 years, or a higher national certificate would take you 1. You can study for these qualifications in colleges too. Our next myth: I can only apply to study in one place. So just because you eventually go and study in one place, it doesn't mean you only apply to one. You can make 5 initial choices, and actually if you don't get into any of your first choices, you can add some more in too. Okay, our next myth: so studying at university is the only way to get a degree. So no, this isn't the case. So you can get degrees from a further education college, and now you can do degree apprenticeships. So this is where you can earn a degree in the workplace. The next myth: university is just like school. So a lot of people do think that university is just like school, but there are a few differences. So we don't have lessons in lots of different subjects. We're more focused on things we're good at or we enjoy, and we don't have a timetable that runs from 8:30 till 3:30 like a school day. We have a lot more free time to work out the best ways to study, and we learn in a lot more different ways. Okay, so now our final myth. University is not for people like me. So what does everyone think about this one? So there's certainly perceptions about people only going to university, and those people are from rich families, or they are from private schools, or they're just really clever. In reality, a lot of different type of people go to university. 86% of students in university are from state schools, just like yours, and even more than that are here at Middlesex. So remember, the doors are open whatever your background, where you're from, and where you want to go. Thank you for listening.